Dan Petrie here for the Brisbane West Chamber of Commerce, and we are talking with our excellent chairperson, Jane Prentice, who has joined us today. Jane, you just don't stop, but why come on board with the Brisbane West Chamber?
Well, Dan, it's great to be here. I'm very, very honoured to have this role. I first joined the Chamber back when I had my own business in Taringa. That's many, many years ago, back in 1980. And for the same reason today, because it's about networking. If you want to get the most out of your business, networking is the thing. And you're better networking with people you know in the local area. And the great thing about Brisbane West Chamber of Commerce is we reach out to everyone in the local area, and we have events where you can get together, share ideas, and it's amazing how different organisations and different companies can support what you're doing. So the best place to do that is the local Chamber of Commerce.
And of course you had a very story, you went into politics, you were both in local and federal government, but for the benefit of our, of the viewers today, like what was the business, what were you doing? And
so I started from home, like many of the members, an event management company. So we ran conventions, and we started off small with little, I think we started with the Nurses Association, we did the Restaurant and Caterers Association, but by the time Expo came along in 1988, we'd grown to several hundred full-time and part-time employees, and we're doing some of the big, golden oldies events. And after Expo, we continued to do some major events. The World Wide Web, first time ever, held their conference outside of America. A highlight was the International Congress of the Deaf, where we had 7,000 deaf people from all over the world in Brisbane, taught a lot of sign language. Welcome to Brisbane, Queensland, Australia.
Now with that, you've gone through the 80s, the 90s, you've seen huge technology change, but the fundamentals of what drives business and that networking is obviously key. I mean, what would you say to somebody thinking, I should probably get out there, get my name out there, join a chamber, perhaps take out some advertising in the local media? What would you say to somebody who's starting out, and why to start a small business? Because it was a very successful business you ran for a long time before you decided to give something back to the community. What would be some key advice you'd give?
Well, Dan, as you were saying, that person contact is the most important, and do it first. Because when you do it first, you often find that someone else has done something similar, and you can learn from their mistakes. Because although you think you're doing something really new, there's every chance that someone's tried it. They already have some pitfalls that they can warn you about. It's amazing talking to people about negotiating government red tape, and that's something we should all share on how to cut that tape as quickly as possible. So you cannot get past the benefits of talking to other people doing the same or similar things that you're doing in business and learning from what they've done.
Amazing. And with that, a lot of people now, they get hung up on technology. There's often a lot of people, they pose more questions, they put barriers. Is it a case of you just have to start, particularly like in the start out phase, just start and see how you go? Really, sometimes you just don't have to have a net.
Well, and indeed, some people are, I believe if you come up with an idea, it's worth joining the chamber and floating that idea. And then you'll find that, Joe Brown up the road tried that, but he's gone off to do something else. So there's an opportunity for you. Or more importantly, you might see what other people are doing and see other opportunities to partner with some of the many small businesses in our area.
Now, you're still very much involved heavily in the community. You see a lot of businesses around, and you know this region very, very well. Has it changed a lot in terms of business over the last 10, 15 years? And do you think it's still got a very, very good future ahead of it?
Look, I think Brisbane, I think Bernard Salt actually coined the phrase, is the aspirational capital of Australia. Anything you want or aspire to do, you can do, but you've just got to make that effort. And Brisbane people particularly, and in the western suburbs, they're those sort of people. They're good workers. They want to get out there and try things. And that's why the Chamber's the perfect place to network with these people, to learn from them, to share, and to grow your business.
So that's the key thing, because growing your business is always it's one thing to start, but growing's the key, and often you can't do it by yourself, can you? You do need good networks. And
often that's the big challenge. You start off with yourself and maybe one or two people, but that growth spurt, that's often where people fail, and that's where you need to get that support and advice. I found very difficult when you're growing quickly to let go of aspects and delegate. Back in the day, I was told I was really bad at delegating. But, you know, these are the things you learn from networking in the chamber.
And just for a final, we're in the COVID period. You know, we as a chamber have had to do things very differently. We're doing a lot more online events, but we're looking forward to getting back to more face-to-face events. What would you say to somebody who's struggling during this period? You know, do you keep going and
Definitely keep going, but reach out. You know, you're not the only one. If you're having troubles, if you're having second thoughts, so is everyone else. And that's the one thing we do learn in business networking. It's very unusual we're the only one having problems. So reach out to the chamber. We're here to help you. And we've got contacts who can help you as well. And you're not the only one. You're not on your own. But definitely keep going, because if you've come this far, what a shame to let it go now. Work with us and we'll help you.
Well, you heard it there, and you heard it first from our excellent chair, Jane Prentice. Jane, thank you again for your time.
Pleasure, Dad.